All right. Hello, everybody. It is June 11th. I can't believe it's already Thursday again. It's like, what happened to Tuesday and Wednesday? Crazy stuff. But anyway.
Hey, what happened to the 1990s is what I want to know.
Oh, God. Yeah, no kidding. It's like yesterday was Monday, and I woke up this morning, and it's Thursday. The week is definitely flying by at lightning speed, that's for sure. All right, well, let's look, we got Mr. Gillette on there. Hey, how are you doing?
Hola.
And yeah, cool. Well, anyway, what can I help you guys with today? Where are we at? Who wants to take a first stab at it?
Okay.
Problems? Roy, you look like you got something on your mind there.
No, you just give us too much information. There's nothing to ask.
Oh, that's awesome. I know you're doing SEO stuff. One of the things, there's been some changes in the last month. I think they went after link building again. And a lot of people that were using SitePop they've been reporting in that that SitePop isn't working anymore. And I'm like, when I start looking at stuff, I'm like, nah, it's working really well, as it always has. But they had a bunch of spammy links that got hit. So they were seeing that and attributing it to SitePop. And I'm like, no, there's not really a correlation there.
Yeah, my SitePop's all over the map these days. You know, what was on page 1, according to SitePop, you know, oftentimes is on page 2 the next day and page 4 some other day, and it's bouncing all around, whereas it used to be more steady. So there's something going on.
Yeah. Some of it has to do with some of the stuff with the links are getting hit. The other thing too, and I've noticed this on my particular site, I used to have just 2 devices connected and it did really well. And I'm seeing that it's taking more and more devices now to get the same results.
Okay, well, I keep adding them, so that's okay.
Yeah. So just keep with it there. Slow and steady will win the race.
I have never been able to get my my PC to add the app back on. It just the bit.ly link that we used to use is just not going through these days for some reason or another. It's no big deal because I got a lot of phones going anyway. But
did you uninstall? And it's Windows 10,
yeah,
right?
I've uninstalled. The problem is in making the link work. I mean, I think the link itself just doesn't seem to go anywhere off of my PC anyway.
Are you using the link that is in the back office?
Yeah, well, I'm using the one you sent me lately.
Okay, try the one. Go into where your devices are in the device tab.
Okay.
And use that link because that is the most up-to-date current.
Oh, okay. Okay. I haven't been using that one. I did the one you sent me, and I did the one on well, anyway, I haven't been using the one you're talking about now, so okay, I will try that.
Yeah, try that.
I mean, it's just one more device. I mean, it's not going to make that much difference because I've already got more devices than theoretically I need for each site. But and I did have one Android phone that I never could get to work, one of those used ones that I bought. So I don't know if it was an older one. The new stuff, the ones you suggested from Target work like a charm. I mean, I get them from Target. Yeah. Whatever you call those devices, the brand new ones.
Yeah, the track.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And they work like a pro. I'm really happy with them. So I mean, you know, if I just have to go to them, I think they're $20. So it's
yeah, they're about $20. And
how did you? That's incredible.
Yeah, I know. The only thing that I have found with those is when you're setting them up, you got to make sure that you uninstall all the garbage apps. And then one of the things is too, this is one of our clients found this. You need to go into the Wi-Fi settings and disable Wi-Fi calling.
Oh, maybe, okay.
Because
Disable
the Wi-Fi calling will disrupt the connection every once in a while.
Okay, I'll have to look into that. I do
Yeah.
have trouble with them dropping a lot, and maybe it's because of the Wi-Fi calling or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, all my devices, which
Yeah.
I don't mind because I just, eliminate it and then put it back in, and it works fine.
Yeah, I've found that on the cheaper devices, and that's one of the things. I've had mine up and running now for probably close to a month, and I haven't had to touch them.
Really, and none of them have dropped.
Nope. I finally got it figured out, but I had to like just turn everything off.
Okay, well, I have to look back at them. I didn't know the new devices had a whole lot of stuff on them, but maybe they do. I really wasn't paying attention to that.
Yeah. The any kind of the emergency notifications will disconnect.
Okay.
There's a lot of little stuff in there. Notifications, they want to be paid attention to. So when the notification pops up, it basically stops all services until you click it.
Okay. Yeah, I've got that on every one of them. So
Yeah, and that's what's happening. So turning the notifications off will help that greatly.
Okay.
This takes a while to find them all.
Yeah, especially when you're not used to working with Android at all. So it's a bit of a learning curve for me.
Yeah, I should have made a list because, over 6 months, I've slowly but surely found all the stuff to turn off.
Yeah, well, if you ever get around to that, it'll be helpful because, but basically, if you just get rid of most of it, I'm sure that's the best thing. But
yeah,
but I hadn't thought about notifications, so that's another new one. So you've enlightened me a couple times here already today.
Yeah, notifications. That's definitely a
but that site pop stuff works great.
Yeah, it's been a real lifesaver. We've actually been using that technology since about 2011.
Wow.
And our original Rainmaker product was just for desktop use, and it worked like, I don't know what I would have done without that, because my entire SEO network would have been shot without it.
Wow.
It was like all my clients, that's what saved my butt was that.
What I love about it,
no one else had.
what I love about it now is it builds the brand in the meantime.
Yeah.
Because anytime it doesn't catch it and puts the brand name in, and wow.
Yeah.
That's just, that is, you or whoever figured this out did a heck of a job.
This is another thing too, and we may in the future be able to adjust the software to do this, but I got this information from Perry Belcher, and this guy, I mean, he's got an army of people that test stuff for him, and every once in a while he'll call me and he'll run stuff by me to see what I think. And 9 out of 10 times I tell him, no, that's you're not understanding that properly. But every once in a while he comes across something that's phenomenal. And he was actually the first one that alerted me to the fact that Google was watching signals. And this was way back. He had a page, and he goes, I don't understand what's going on. We put this page up. There's no on-page optimization. There's no links. But this page is ranking #1 in some very competitive terms. And he's like, how did that happen? And I started taking a look at it, and I said, this page has a tremendous amount of traffic. Where's this traffic coming from? And he said they were doing email campaigns sending direct traffic. And that was the first thing that alerted me to direct traffic was a signal to Google. And we're talking like 2009, 2010 here was when I got that awakening. and what he just brought to my attention just now, or about a week ago, was It's called type in traffic.
Type in. Okay.
It's where somebody literally types in your domain name into the search or into a browser window, not into a search box, but typing in your exact domain name and going directly to your site. It's called type in traffic. So traffic coming from search where somebody knows to type in your URL is a phenomenal trigger to Google.
They like that one, huh?
Yeah. So we might be able to do something with that. And the way he figured that out was he knows how to write remarkable copy. This guy knows how to convert like nobody I've ever seen. So he sent out emails.
Who is it, John?
Perry Belcher. And he sent out emails for an offer that was a phenomenal offer. And he intentionally did not make the link active. And he put a script on the page where you couldn't even right click and copy stuff. So you literally had to type the URL in to get the offer. And that's how he did the testing on it. So it's like, that was pretty interesting.
This guy's sharp.
Yeah. Perry is really sharp. He's got a lot of people at his disposal. I mean, he's got hundreds of people that are, industry leaders, that are all feeding him information. And then he's taking that information and feeding it back to me to validate. So
that's great. It's smart.
It's pretty funny. But yeah, occasionally he will just fire me over a real gem. And we might be looking, I'll talk to Chris about it, of what we could do to take our existing system and have it do type in traffic.
Wow.
Because we already have the technology. We're already typing in search. It's just a matter of switching it up to type it into a URL bar.
Yeah.
It's not that big of a stretch.
Okay, well, you're really finding out what counts, and then when you can figure out how to turn that into an app, that's exciting.
Yeah, well, we've already got the app. We've got the network. We've got over 10,000 of these cell phones around the world working for us now.
That's great.
So it's just a matter of a little tweak, and we got a whole new arsenal. So pretty cool.
Hey, John, what was the name of that phone from Target that you recommend?
It's called a track phone, and I believe it's TRACFONE. It's a kind of a funky spelling of
Is it? I thought it was PHONE, but anyway.
Oh, it might be. I just know it was kind of a weird spelling.
They're $20 and they work like a charm.
Yeah.
For the site pop thing, anyway.
Yeah, I've found them. You can get them online. You can buy them through Target online.
Yeah, that's what I did.
And depending on when it is, depending on their inventory, I've seen it where they limit it to you can only buy 2 at a time, but I've also seen it where you can buy 10 at a time.
Yeah, I got 4 of them.
Yeah. I bought 4 once.
I was really glad I did.
Yeah. It just, that makes it so easy.
And they all come with cords to plug in if you're using the device where you can put about, I don't know how many phones in there, 20 phones or quite a few anyway.
Yeah.
What is it all for?
It's a software for SEO, for getting search rankings. And basically, for those of you that are kind of not up to speed on that, to rank in Google, there's 3 big factors that Google looks at to determine who's going to be on top. One of them is how well your actual web pages are coded. They call that on-page content, on-page optimization. And it's like having your keywords and your title tags and your descriptions and having relevant content. So Google says, hey, this is worth ranking. The next one is linking, having other sites that link to you, which is kind of like a popularity contest. So if you're relevant, you have good content, other people should want to link to you as a resource. And the more of that you have going, that's what's called off-page optimization. So you have on-page and off-page. And then the new one that we're talking about is I've created a software. Actually, I didn't write the software. I've got a team of guys that do that. But I actually brainstormed it out and developed the layout of it. And it's for artificial intelligence, which Google has moved to. They're now not only looking at your code on your site and looking at who links to it, they're also now looking at a third factor to validate whether all of that is real by the user experience. So their algorithm is literally analyzing every move that everyone makes online. Like, let's say they put you up in the search, somebody clicks on you, they're watching what happens after the click. Like if you go to that site and you stay there for 3 seconds and you bounce back and you go to another site, you just sent a signal to Google that you didn't provide good content. They're not going to want to send other people there very often. So that will make you drop in the ranking. So what we did was we created a software that runs on mobile devices. And we've got those devices now all over the world that will send these search signals to Google, running a search for your keyword. And then when it finds your site in the search results, it clicks through, spends time on different pages, and then ultimately closes the browser, which sends the signal to Google that, hey, the visitor got what they wanted. Thank you very much. That way, Google wants to send more traffic to that site. So those are the three kind of components, and all together, if you have all three of those in your favor, then you'll be pretty much unstoppable. And the only way you can really get the third factor is if you really have done a good job of conversion. And that's where ACT comes in. You know, the first time I started talking about the ACT program, it was to show people for SEO how to make your site convert, so Google would value that third factor. And you know, it's all about conversion. And when you think about it, anything you're doing online, if you're building and developing and you're just trying to game the system, but what you're gaming it to get traffic for isn't going to convert, what's the point, really? You know, and that's the problem with most SEO guys. They're like quick buck artists. They just want to rank a site fast to get traffic there just because they can. And what does it do? If the site doesn't convert, all it is just an ego thing. They can pound their chest and say, yeah, I can rank you #1. But, you know, at this point, Google's going to figure it out real fast that was hocus pocus. And that's why they brought AI into the picture. And to me, I think it was the most brilliant thing they've ever done. And I actually predicted that they would do it back in 2010. Because I've been in the SEO game since it started, and I've watched everything that's happened, and I've got the perspective from both sides. I look at it as, okay, I know what all these guys are doing, and I know why they're doing it. And I look at it from Google's side, and I'm like, okay, what would I do if I were Google to prevent this? And every time I look at it that way, I can clearly see the next move Google's going to make. That's how I've been able to predict it for over 2 decades. And when it got to link building and, you know, that got out of control, I was like, what are they going to do next? It's got to be the user experience. And that's exactly where they went. And I started talking about that in like 2010, which is when we started developing the Rainmaker software, because I knew it was coming. That was the best move I ever made, was getting into that development of that project. And so anyway, that's kind of where we're at with search. It's gotten to the point where if you're just a traditional old-fashioned SEO guy, you're probably either hurting or done or out of business by now, because that stuff just doesn't work anymore. You know, it will only work temporarily. Unless you're building sites that convert and Google recognizes that and rewards you for that, you're not gonna play the game very long. Another big factor too, and this is a factor that I believe they will probably make an adjustment for, because it's not right, but it's happening. And Google is highly valuing brands right now, big brands. And the reason that I think they'll probably adjust it is it's not right. It's totally unfair. The little guy doesn't have a chance because of this. Like if you run a search for almost anything right now, you'll see big brands coming up on the top. Like if it's anything at all related to commerce, you're going to see Amazon at the top. If it's a product that can be purchased on Amazon, they're going to dominate the top. If you're in real estate, it's all the big realtor.com and Trulia and, you know, all these big realtor sites. And the reason is it's because the artificial intelligence has decided that people know about those. It's almost like link building used to be the old factor of popularity. Well, now if people know your site and they know to type in your brand name, so many people will type in the product name plus Amazon because they want to see if it's on Amazon. And that signal is telling Google, people know about Amazon. They want Amazon. We should put it at the top. That's what's happening with realtor.com. That's what's happening with Home Depot. That's what's happening with Walmart. People know the name and they're actually sending the signals into Google saying this is what we want. That's why they're dominating. Google's AI has put this together. It's artificial intelligence and it's learning. It's learning what users want for real, in real time. And if you're a little guy and nobody knows your name, you're kind of screwed. But that's where, like, the software that we developed, what it does is it runs a search for a keyword. And when it doesn't find you, it bounces back and it revises the search and it adds your brand to it.
Yeah, that's
then it reruns the search, finds you at the top, clicks through. And now, as a little guy, you're now able to go up against the Goliaths. So I've leveled playing field. So that's what.
You know what that also helps with? If you're a local company, it gets you into Google Maps faster.
Yes. Yeah, there's all
That's
kinds
really
of benefits. Yeah, there's all kinds of benefits to it.
Yeah, there is.
So
thank you.
yeah, and there's no one else doing it. I mean, you look at, there's other products that say they're similar, but they're all robot stuff. And Google knows that. I mean, Google's not stupid. They've got some of the brightest people on the planet looking at what's going on and trying to figure it out, trying to create footprints so they can wipe things out. So they know better. There's nobody that I know of that I've ever seen, and I've been doing this since like 2011 when we started. I still haven't found anybody that's using real user devices like we are and having actual human actions going on with them without having humans involved. We literally, like when a search is being run on our devices, the keystrokes are randomized just like human texting and human typing. In fact, we even calculate mistakes and we backspace and fix them and move on. And that's all done by our algorithm. You know, I've looked at every human factor that happens and replicated it and automated it. So it's pretty diabolical, to say the least. But anyway, I don't want to dominate the call with SEO. I know there's a lot of you guys that are not focused on SEO. And this call, like, it's open. It's for you guys. So
I have a question.
Lisa, go for it.
Good, because I'm not at the SEO point yet. I mean,
all right. It's a fascinating topic.
It is. And I'm so excited to engage in it when I get there, which it's coming. A quick question. This is something you went over, not on this call, but so I'll just ask you. It's a Kartra question. Maybe you can either show me and others. When we're cloning pages, we get the new page and everything, but the title of the page remains the old title in the tab bar. How do you change it?
Correct. You go into your page settings, and I think it's the very top icon at the left. It's called settings, settings or page settings. And there's a parameter in there called SEO settings.
Okay, so you can't see it, but I'm in my Kartra pages. I'm in pages. I don't see anything that says settings.
Okay, let me pull
I
up
see
one.
support.
Share your screen, Lisa.
Here, I'll share mine and I'll show you where it is.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Okay, so I'm in here. I just created this page.
Oh, so you have to go, okay, into the page, not just in all
Yes.
pages. So go
Yeah,
into the
you have-
page.
You have to be in the editing of
Funnel
the page
camp.
itself. So once the
Now this is the page that you've cloned.
yes, so see over here where it says settings,
Yes.
not the top one, it's the second one down.
Okay, all right.
And then you've got SEO parameters.
There's that SEO again. Okay.
There's your page title right there.
Ah, okay.
Now here's a little trick. You can set this up, like you can put in your description, your title, your keywords, your page author, and you can also put an image in here. Like what this does. Are you guys familiar with what OG is?
Original gangsta.
OG is what's called Open Graph. And Google uses search frame without Open Graph, but all of the social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, all of them use Open Graph to display stuff. So you know how when you go into Facebook and you type a URL and then an image will magically appear that represents that page?
Yes.
Yes.
This is where it's picking it up. It's this OG image, and you can control that. So if you create a cool little icon that represents your image or your offer and you put it in there, then when you put your link in social media, it will come up with that image and it'll look beautiful.
Ah, nice.
You can also control the OG description and title in the social media platforms.
Now I want to find that on my WordPress site because I've often put links to pages in my WordPress site, but it brings up an image that is not the right image.
Yeah, OG controls that in social media. So that's a really cool trick. So what you want to do is you want to get this dialed in for any particular campaign. You might have multiple pages for the same campaign. And then when you clone it, all these parameters will go with the clone. And then you can just come in and tweak them if you need to. Got
it. So going back to this OG thing on social media, where's that set up? Is that in the social media platform or is that in the page of the thing you're posting on social media? It's in their configuration. It's in their back end. It's not something that you see. It's the way they display material. It's through a thing called Open Graph. How would I set that in WordPress? The same thing. You just put OG tags. Like if you're using something like Yoast, if you're using like the Yoast SEO plugin, it will have a parameter in there for the OG tags. Okay, you lost me, but that's okay. If you're just in WordPress without any SEO type plugins, it's probably not going to be there. You would have to code it manually, which I don't think any of us want to do that. You can just get a plugin. There's all kinds of free plugins that will allow you to put tags into your WordPress sites. And I think almost all of them are going to include OG tags because it's very common. It's very standard. It's been around for a long time. You know, OG is not new. It's been in social media since it began. So, but that's how you do it. And that can really boost your conversion in your social media campaigns. Yes. You know, being able to control that text because, you know, everybody is putting links in their social media. But if you put a link in and you don't know what's going to come up, it might not be that great. And if you control those triggers, you know, you put buying triggers into your title and your description, it will radically increase your conversion. Because a link is all about getting clicked. And if you've got the right stuff around it to get somebody to want to click it, they'll click it. And
all the social media platforms also have AI working in them now. They've all been moving this way. And Facebook especially, Facebook has all kinds of things in it to find out if people are engaging with your content. If they're engaging, they will show it to more people. You know, I hear a lot of people say, nobody's seeing my posts. Well, if your posts are crap and nobody was going to click on them, they're not going to be very enlightened to show those to anybody. They're not going to be very motivated to show your stuff. If you put something out and it goes viral, they're going to figure out a way to get more people to see it, because that's what they want. They want a good user experience. If you're looking at any kind of big entity online, I guarantee you their driving force is user experience, because user experience equates to eyeballs. Eyeballs equates to money in the ad industry. You know, it used to be called circulation. Now it's called page views. It's called engagement. But if you look at, like, you know, go back to, what was his name? William Randolph Hearst, you know, Hearst Publishing. The guy made a gazillion dollars because he had circulation. He had all these different publications, and he made his money off of advertisements. You know, it wasn't selling publications, it was selling ads. And the bigger his circulation was, the more money he made. Google is no different. Facebook is no different. The bigger their circulation, the more eyeballs, the more those ads are worth. That's the game. That is the underlying game here. If you get that, you'll be able to play. It's like playing a board game if you don't know the rules. You know, it's not that much fun. I don't ever play a game I can't win. And if I'm going to win, I need to know the rules. The internet to me is no different. It's just a game. That's why I play it, because I can win. So anyway, that's where you find it. Any other questions while I'm in Kartra here?
I added one, but I forgot it. So.
All right.
I do on Kartra, John, is because I quit using Kartra a couple months ago, and like all the affiliates I had inside of Kartra, apparently I lost. I'm not in their affiliate programs anymore. Is that true?
No, that should not be true. The Kartra affiliate program is free. Now, if you're talking about affiliates that were your affiliates to your Kartra stuff.
No. To like I was other people's stuff, like me representing you. Like I lost all of them, all the people I was representing, because I don't have a Kartra account anymore. Is that correct? No.
You can have a free Kartra account for affiliate.
Okay, well, apparently I don't, because like they told me all my stuff was disconnected, and even like my Webinar Jam that I've been Webinar Jam user for years, and they said I don't have it anymore because I gave up Kartra.
Oh, that's interesting. That shouldn't be. I'm gonna look in here in my affiliates and see if you're in here.
I think you were one of them, the ones I had too, as a matter of fact. Yeah.
As an aside, Tim, why did you leave Kartra?
I can do everything that I needed Kartra for in Optimized Press and on WordPress, and with the tools I have. Why pay twice or three times for things I don't need?
Yeah. Now you have an affiliate account. You're in mine.
Okay.
So
but, I mean, yeah, it's not that there's anything wrong with it with Kartra. I think it's a great program, just like I thought ClickFunnels was a great program for those who need it. I can make 1 million pages with Optimized Press and using WordPress by myself. The other tools that you guys need, I don't need them. You know what I mean? But they're great tools, and it's a great program. It just wasn't fit for Tim.
Yeah, but you just need to figure out how to log in.
Okay.
Because you're still active. You're in mine. You're one of my affiliates. So
All right.
Your links should still work. All of that. Your thing is you just need to figure out how to log into your affiliate back end.
Okay.
So, but they don't cancel you out. In fact, I think that's illegal in the affiliate world. I don't think you can.
I thought it was too, but like,
Yeah.
you know, who knows who's going to pull what nowadays, you know?
Do you use the Facebook, the official Kartra Facebook group? Because there's people will have an answer in there.
I think I'm still in. I'm going to look, see if I'm even in that group.
And for the ladies here, there's another site called Ladies Who Use Kartra, which
I want to join that one.
Yeah, they won't lay. The good news about Ladies Who Use Kartra is they don't have a moderator for the post, so you can just post your question and get immediate feedback. The official Kartra, a moderator has to let your post go through. So sometimes that moderator is not hanging out, and it'll take an hour or two for your post to go through. So if you're in the middle of something and you need immediate help, well, that's when you just call John.
See, that's what I did. I just came on and asked John. I've got John's phone number. Why do I need to go to the Kartra site anyway?
Because sometimes,
now you've raised a whole other issue for me, Lisa. All right, I think it's sexist that I can't join the women's group.
Well, they probably have a men who use Kartra group that I can't get into, so it's okay.
Well, that's funny that you mentioned that, because I was on with somebody from the eWoman Network last night. They're wanting me to speak at one of their deals, and it's in March of 2021. And it happens to just be on my birthday, so I'm like, well, that sounds like a good way to celebrate my birthday with a bunch of women, right? And then she asked me, she goes, have you joined the eWomen Network yet? I'm like, well, no, I'm a man. And she goes, well, we accept men. We're very accepting. And I'm like, oh, okay. I had no idea. Okay, I'll join.
We call them E-men, John.
What's that?
We call them E-men.
Ah, okay. E-women. Yeah.
John, this is Mel. I have a question for you.
Okay, go for it.
So I'm trying to figure out, so I'm building a site to send people to for an offer. And this whole thing about SEO has kind of spun me around, because if I build it in Pages in Kartra and not in WordPress, like I'm trying to decide between the pros and cons of building it in WordPress first and then putting my Kartra pieces in that. Can you speak a little bit about making that?
Sure. If SEO is important to you, WordPress is a better platform for SEO than Kartra is. Kartra is a better platform at all the automation and the marketing stuff outside that. So what I do is I marry the two. I have a WordPress site for my regular website, and then I will build like my Kartra opt-ins, and I'll just take the opt-in code for my opt-in box and I'll just embed that in my WordPress page. So that way my page is WordPress, it's all optimized, and then when somebody goes to it and they do my call to action, when they click the button, it pops up a Kartra window to opt into Kartra, and now they're off to the Kartra channel. So now they get opted into my Kartra, they get my follow-up sequences, they get all my automation. So I have the best of both worlds married together.
I appreciate that. So what, okay, so in the timetable of like doing that, so I haven't launched this URL yet with this new offer, and I do want to, and I already have a website. Mm-hmm. But instead of changing the website, what I did is I went and I just started building a page with all my options.
In Kartra?
I'm second guessing that, and I'm thinking I should change the website and put all my Kartra stuff in there.
Yeah, and here's another thing too. Like, people get kind of mixed up when they start mixing marketing and WordPress. WordPress is typically made to build your website, and when people start building landing pages in there and they're using the template from their website, that's not the best solution, because a true landing page won't have navigation like your website does. With a true landing page, it should be one single focused action and no distraction. Your website, it's okay to have distractions on your website because you want to give people options, because you might not know exactly why they're there, how they got there. Somebody could send them to your homepage and then they can find all the golden nuggets. But a landing page, typically you've paid to get somebody onto that page and you know who they are. So your job is to convert them knowing who they are. So we don't want any distractions. So if you're
Okay,
creating
so on the website, you could have then a link to go to your landing page, but you have a separate landing page for when you're marketing.
correct. Yeah, because it
Okay, so can you explain how you marry those two together? Like, I'm trying to figure out my next step. Like, do I continue building it as a page and then just add it to my website, or do I have to do something to integrate it first?
you can just create a regular page on your WordPress website that's a landing page. Just make sure you don't put the standard site navigation in there, so it's just a landing page. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's really all I'm talking about. Now, you do want to always have your disclaimers and stuff down in the footer. You don't ever want to put a page out that doesn't have your privacy policy and your, any kind of earning disclaimers, anything like that. You want to make sure you never omit those. That's very important. Those should be on the, across every page you ever make, whether it's a Kartra page, a WordPress page, anything, any physical thing that you own should have that stuff on it. The only place you don't have to be so concerned is like running a Facebook page or something.
I understand.
So John, when you say site navigation, for Melody's question, creating a landing page, are you saying that doesn't have the nav bar
Correct.
that allows them to go to anywhere else on the site?
Correct. Yeah, you shouldn't have that stuff in your landing pages.
So you can let me mirror, you can create a page on your website and eliminate the nav bar?
Yes.
How do you do that?
Yeah, that's in WordPress. Like, I'm not really a WordPress developer, so I'm not probably the best person to answer that, but Tim might be able to do that. He's
Tim
a
knows how to
WordPress
do
guy.
that in so tricky ways.
There's a lot of ways to do it. Is there plugins for that, Tim?
Actually, it's all in the WordPress menus. If you go into appearance menus, you can set up as many menus as you want. And then when you set up each page, like you set up a landing page, like I use Optimized Press, I have a way to put in WordPress menu, and it gives me this choice of which menu I want. And I believe Beaver Builder, which is what John uses, has the same options too. You can set up whatever WordPress menu you want in their pages.
Correct.
But you don't want any menu.
If you don't want any menu, you just don't put one up there.
Yeah.
Like I have, if you go to my blog and VideoCon and my virtual pages, like my blog and VideoCon virtual, it has home, sponsorship, hotel. All right. That's a whole separate menu as opposed to timgillette.com. I have like 8 menus for 8 different types of pages that are all back pages to timgillette.com.
Yep. Yeah.
So my question still comes to, as far as navigation goes, is if let's say I'm going to run an ad, or I have, better yet, I have an affiliate that I want to give, because I've got an affiliate program through my Kartra. No, not an affiliate. Let's say I want to give someone the website, or I want to give them the URL to go to that landing page. What, if I'm using it on my website, what is that URL?
It's whatever. You can do it 2 ways. You can do it the long, hard way, or you can do it the short, easy way. The long, hard way, the long, hard way is like your domain / the page name. And that's kind of cumbersome to give out, especially
I don't want to do that. Exactly.
Yeah. So the short, easy, sexy way is to buy a short, unique domain name that's specific to the offer, and then you just have that domain name forwarded to that page. That's
just when buying domain names, don't buy domain names that are someone else's trademarked information.
Yeah.
I'm not saying anybody who's done that in our community, but in our community, there's people who've done it. Not realizing, thinking like, oh yeah, I'm sure he won't mind, but they use their trademarked information with the domain name. And I've had Gillette Corporation shut me down on a domain name. And when it happens to you, you're not going to like the lawsuit you get. It's not easy to fight.
Yeah.
So you're saying I can't use Gillette? Is that what you're
So yeah,
saying?
no, the name Gillette is trademarked, and my last name's Gillette, and I can't use anything that's Gillette other than timgillette.com. So I bought Gillette.live, and I had to surrender it or pay millions of dollars in lawsuits.
Wow. Yeah. That's,
You use somebody else's trademark. Like, let's use Craig. Craig has Rock Your Life. So you decide to use Rock Your Life Tim.com. Craig can sue me for that. You use anybody. So, I mean, a lot of people are doing that going, well, I can use somebody's trademark name. And I could just, and I watched a guy do it on Craig's a long time ago. It's just wrong. Don't do it.
Yeah.
yeah.
Build your own trademark, guys.
With domain names,
I got my answer. Thank you so much.
with domain names and lawyers and attorneys, there's one thing about attorneys, and they're probably not all this way, but I'm just going to say most of the ones I've ever encountered are this way. They lie. Like, they will tell you that you've done something wrong and that they're going to sue you when they really have no grounds for it. There's no legal precedent for it. And they do it as a scare tactic to try and squeeze money out of you or get their way. And your biggest thing to combat that is knowledge of what's actually true and what they can get away with. Like back early on in the internet, there was people buying all kinds of domain names. And, if you bought a domain name and it happened to be somebody else's company, if they really wanted it, they just had to buy it from you. And there was all kinds of attorneys coming in and making these claims of lawsuits, and I had several of them come after me for different stuff, and I just flat told them to go pack sand. I'm like, you want to buy the domain name, let's talk, but there's no legal precedent for you to tell me what you're telling me.
I love that, pack sand. I love you.
I'm like, you just, I also had, an attorney from Florida come after me for using a set of legal documents that was made for Frank Kern, that Frank Kern actually gave to me and gave to a bunch of people in a group that he was with. He paid this attorney to make these documents for him for his group that he could give to them. So, the guy was paid, the documents were made, and we all got distributed the documents to use. So there was a terms of use policy, there was a privacy policy, there was, all the basic stuff. And then years later, I get this lawsuit notice from this attorney in Florida saying I'm using his copyrighted materials and that he wants, I think he wanted $3,500 for it. Or he was going to sue me, and he got the pack sand letter too. and I told him, I said, hey, you want to talk about a lawsuit, go talk to Frank. He's the one that hired you. He's the one that paid you. And I'm using it based on his authority. And if you don't want me to use it, no problem. It's just a boilerplate thing anyway. And so I just pulled it off my site and ignored his terrorist demands. And that's when I started using FTC Guardian, which I knew about them for a long time. And Chip is great. And so I've just been using them and no problems ever since. Costs a little bit of money, but hey, you don't have any problems. And they keep it updated too. That's something about legal stuff is, laws change as much as Google changes. And I don't want to be on top of that stuff. I got enough issues staying on top of Google. So.
Hey, John, I have a question for you. This is Carolyn.
Yeah. Hey, how's it going? I haven't seen you in a while. I haven't seen you live anyway. I see your name on there.
I know. On your Zoom deal that you're working on.
Yeah.
I was wondering about that. I am hosting I'm in charge of our high school reunion.
Oh, okay.
And obviously people want to do it live plus an online version. So I was wondering, you know, in my Zoom, I have 100 participants.
Yeah.
And I guess I could upgrade my account and get 300 participants. But what I'd like to do is have an overall Zoom and then have little sub Zooms where people could have conversations. Is that possible?
Yes, absolutely. It's in the higher level paid program, which is the one I'm working on getting for everybody. I'm trying to get everybody the 500 Zoom room account. That is the 500
cool.
webinar, the 500 Zoom, all the bells and whistles. And I'm shooting at price range of about $10 a month for that,
Wow.
for the whole thing.
So that'll have the capability to have these sub Zooms.
Yes.
And then these sub Zooms, can they see the big Zoom?
You know, I haven't played around with it that much. I know I was in one last month where they were doing that. They would split out the rooms and then they put like 6 people in a room to do power masterminding. So I know it will do it. And I think what you have is you have a moderator that closes the rooms out and pulls the people back into the main room.
Right. That's what actually I was reading, that it had that capability, but that's not exactly what I want, because I want the sub Zooms to be able to have conversations, but still be able to connect to the larger Zoom, which is in the room where all the physical people are.
Carolyn, they call them breakout rooms. And if you go in, are you at any paid level?
I'm at the 100 level.
So you pay monthly,
100
whatever.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Me too. And you can go into your settings, and I started to play with it, and you can actually create a Zoom that has these breakout rooms, and you name the rooms. So even at the $14.95 a month or whatever you're paying level, apparently that's available.
Can they see the big room when they're in the breakout?
I'm going to start going to the Zoom Q&A like this. Actually, there's one right now that conflicts. I think they do it Tuesdays and Thursdays at 11.
Oh, yeah?
Live Q&A. So you can just ask any question like this about Zoom.
Okay. Okay, cool.
So I don't know. And when you find out, I'd love to know.
I think you can click back to the main room, but I don't
Right, but you can't
physically see it. You just see like a link to it.
Okay. All right.
I think it's actually in the buttons at the bottom where you can exit the breakout room and it puts you back into the main. I think that's the way it works.
Are you trying to have them be at once?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear the question.
Are you trying to have them be in 2 at once?
Yeah, well, so what I'd like to do is have these breakout rooms where you could have a small group of people talking, and then but also see the room where all the people are.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. Because when you leave, like if you were in this room here, this is our main room. If you were to leave here to go to a breakout room, you physically transfer out of here and you land in the other room with the people that are in that room. And you can come back, but you can't.
Right, and I know you can't have 2 Zooms on at the same time.
Correct. Yeah, that is correct.
You know, right. If I could have 2 Zooms on my computer at the same time, then I could be sharing the bigger one to the group, which is having a breakout.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. Well, the thing that I've been trying to negotiate my way in with Zoom, and the problem is they have closed their reseller program to the US. So I'm trying to go through Mexico. I'm trying to get it through Spanish. But the deal is, when you have a Zoom reseller license, they just give you open access to resell the Zoom at whatever you want to sell it for.
Wow.
and I know a company that's done it, and that's where I got the idea from. And I could get you guys in on it in a kind of an oddball way right now if anybody wanted to do it. It's a company that's connected with, it's called Be Connected, and it's like the new LinkedIn. It's a new thing that they haven't even, they're really in pre-launch right now. They haven't even launched publicly. So there are some really cool deals available for it. It's going to be fairly expensive. It's going to be like $2.99 a month to be involved in Connected, which that's more than most people I know want to pay for a LinkedIn type thing. But it's kind of unique. They've got, it's a LinkedIn type thing where it's for business only, and you create a profile, and then it has almost like a dating algorithm in the background where it connects professionals, and it will actually do the connection for you. It will introduce you to somebody that matches your profile. And based on the criteria, that person is going to rate you of how that interaction went. So if they give you a 5-star rating, the more ratings you get, the more people it will connect you to. So that's what the Be Connected platform is all about. I know in their pre-launch right now, they have a deal where it's $2.99 a month. And if you get 2 people in under your affiliate, then you no longer have to pay, and you get it for life for free by just bringing
that's nice.
people in.
John,
So
is that $2.99 or $300?
$300. So basically, if you paid the $300 and then you got 2 people in, you'd never have to pay again, and you have a lifetime membership to the Be Connected platform. It's within the Be Connected platform. They have that reseller agreement with Zoom that you can get that Zoom account for $9.95 a month, $10 a month, which is a 500 seat license. And
wow.
It's unlimited. And that's, even if you didn't want to get the 2 people in, you could buy the 1 month of the Be Connected. You hook up the Zoom, you cancel the Be Connected, and you keep the Zoom for life for $10 a month.
Wow.
So that deal I can make available to any of you guys if you want that right now. I'm trying to get it through my internet dominator company. And if I do, I'm going to bundle it in with my Dominator membership, and I'm just going to give it to you guys for free. You know, it'll be part of your $29.95 a month. And I'll do that just to keep retention. That will increase my retention like crazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
No one will ever leave.
Okay, well, thank you. Keep me posted. I'm interested, I think well, I don't know, but I'll probably need more than my 100 people. So.
Yeah. But yeah, that,
okay.
If any of you are interested in that Be Connected platform, I can send an email out for you. If it is, I mean, all you have to do is get 2 people in, and for $300 you have a lifetime membership. So that's pretty cool.
John, I have a question.
Okay.
Well, first of all, yes, I may be interested in this Be Connected. That sounds cool. It's the professional world, yes.
Yeah, it's like LinkedIn.
Yeah, but when it's Zoom, you have Zoom meeting and you have Zoom webinar, and you have to pay by separate. I'm kind of confused between the benefits to have only Zoom meeting and Zoom webinar.
Okay.
With Zoom, in order to do the breakout room that they were talking about, you can do that only the Zoom meeting, not with the Zoom webinar, I guess.
Correct.
So I don't know Zoom webinar then.
The Zoom webinar really is just that. It's a webinar platform. It's not a meeting platform. Like a meeting here, we see each other. In a webinar, you don't see any of the participants. The participants are all hidden. The presenter can see the participants in a side panel, but it's a clean window with just the presenter, and if the presenter wants to bring in a co-host. So it's kind of like watching a webinar versus participating in a group discussion. If you're recording, like let's say you're doing a sales thing and you want to show a presentation, you wouldn't want the distraction of all the people in there. You don't want that interaction until it comes to the Q&A time. So it's a much more effective, webinar platforms are very effective at sales presentations. The Zoom meeting, this is very effective at communication and participation. So it really just depends on what you need, but they are two different types of platforms. So I use them both, and like the regular Zoom, just the regular platform like this, I think it's like $15 a month for the 100-seat license. That's if you buy it through Zoom. Like through this reseller thing I'm talking about giving a 500-seat Zoom room like this, plus a 500-seat webinar room, both combined for like $10 a month. Which if you were to do the 500 on both, I think you're up around $300 or $400 a month from Zoom. So it's an incredible value.
Do it, Johnny.
Oh, believe me, I'm trying. I've been on the phone with the Zoom people every day for the last 3 weeks, just hounding the crap out of them. I'm like, come on, give me one more. You need one more U.S. representative. So I've been pushing every angle I can think of. And now I have a different angle because I've been trying to work a deal with the current reseller that is working with the Be Connected guys. And he is so busy, he can't get back to me. His voicemail's full. I can't even leave a message. So I'm going to go back to Zoom and I'm like, hey, here's the reseller that you got me working with, and I can't even talk to him. What's up with that? You know, you need another reseller that's dependable. And why don't you give Internet Dominators a try? So I'm trying every angle I can think of.
Dependable and available.
Yeah. But if I can get that, that will be an incredible asset in my company. You know, just for retention alone, I think people would sign up just to get that. It'd be a no-brainer. So cool stuff. All right. Well, anything else here? Anything else I can address here for you guys? All right. Well,
Hey,
cool.
John.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is Gwen again, and I am still stuck with the big idea on the crowd targeting thing, and I've got a group I want to start approaching that's got a expo coming in July. So is there a good time I can pick your brain on that?
Yeah, I was actually thinking about that last night. I've still got your email in my inbox, and every time I look at it, I'm like, I need to work on the big idea for that. So yeah,
I've got a couple of kind of prospects that I'm looking at. I thought maybe if I can kind of talk it through with you, it might help.
Okay, sure. Yeah, we could do that. I could probably, I'll send you an email. I've got your email right in my inbox. I'll send you a couple of times that I've got available, and we'll pick one and go to it.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, that's a cool thing. She's talking about crowd targeting. This is another thing. Some of you guys have heard me talk about this, but if you've got access to people that are reopening, you know, as this whole COVID thing unravels and businesses start reopening and people need to advertise, this might be a perfect solution, especially for like little local restaurants and stuff. Because for those of you that don't know what it is, it's a way to retarget, not based on who came to your website, but who entered any geographical location in the real world in the past year. So I'll give you an example. Like, let's say you were an Italian restaurant and you didn't build a mailing list and you are getting ready to reopen now, and you don't have any way to reach out to the community and say, hey, you know, come in and see us. We're reopened. We'll give you 10% off or whatever. What this does is this gives us the ability to target with retargeting ads all the people that were in that geographic location in the last year. Like anybody that entered their restaurant or their parking lot or their competitor's restaurant, which that part is really powerful. Like if you're an Italian restaurant, you could target the 10 Italian restaurants in your city, and I could literally pull the data for all the people that have been in those establishments in the last year, and we can hit them with retargeting ads. For those of you that know, retargeting is one of the cheapest, most effective kinds of advertising that there is in the paid ad world, in the search world. And it's because you're retargeting somebody that's already seen you. They've already taken an action. So the problem with it is the cost of building the audience. You have to physically pay for the traffic to get them to your offer or to your site to begin with, to be able to retarget them. So to be able to buy that juicy, cheap, really highly effective traffic, you have to pay to build the audience. I can build the audience for free, just based on this type of targeting. We, like I said, we have a year picture of all the cell phones. Like, I have the access to the data for where every cell phone has been in the last year. So based on geographical areas, I can say I want to pull all the cell phones that have been in this restaurant in the last year, or at this convention center, or at this convention center on this date. Pretty powerful stuff. Now we have an audience that we can send that cheap retargeted traffic to. And when I say cheap, they sell retargeting ads at a cost per thousand. It's CPM, cost per thousand. And to give you an idea, 1,000 banner impressions in a retargeting ad might cost as low as $5. $5 a thousand. An expensive one would be like $20 a thousand. So that's a pretty good deal that not too many people are seeing. So
where do we get that, John?
That if you go on to my Internet Dominator site, and there's a services tab there, look for the crowd targeting. I have a page specifically about it, how it works and all that. But in essence, what we're doing, we're using satellites to geofence areas, and then we're taking the cell phone towers, actually collect the data from the cell devices. It doesn't give you their identity, but it gives you the cell phone ID. It's not attached to a personal identity, but we take that and we match that up with a consumer database, something like American Express, let's say. And now we can connect that cell phone ID to computer users. So based on the cell phone that entered the area, we can follow them home, and we can start showing up on their home computer, their work computer, any other device that they've got. Another thing that I would consider fairly diabolical. But anyway, that's called crowd targeting. And there's a lot of people doing geofencing and all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of beacon technology. I don't know of any other company that has put together what we've put together here for this. Very, very powerful. So cool stuff. Just as an example, we used it for a Mercedes-Benz dealer, and we targeted 4 other car dealerships around them within a 5-mile radius. I think we hit a BMW dealer, a Lexus dealer, a Maserati dealer, and another Mercedes dealer. And we did a 90-day case study. We basically took all those people that were on those other car lots in a 90-day period and started running ads to bring them into our Mercedes dealership. And in a 90-day period, we track them too, because we know when that cell phone leaves the other lot, we know when it shows up on our lot. So it's totally trackable. The cell phones that came out of those 4 locations onto our lot equated to the sale of 74 Mercedes-Benz in 90 days. These guys hadn't sold 74 Mercedes in the last year. So it was pretty damn effective and fairly cheap too. Because like I said, the ads are anywhere from $5 to $20 a thousand. So that's some pretty crazy stuff. It's kind of hard to get your head wrapped around that, but like I mentioned that in Craig's group I think it was one of the last live events, and Craig was like, "What in the hell are you talking about?" He gave me one of the like, "What are you smoking?" But no, it's real. It's real, and we're doing it. Works great for casinos to pull, you know, people out of other casinos and bring them to your casino, restaurants, trade shows. I mean, how would you like to follow all the people at a trade show home? You know, you paid a boatload of money to get a booth. You saw a fraction of the people that hit the show floor, and you don't get the ability to touch them until next trade show. You know, how would you like to follow them all home? How would you like to next year start sending them ads saying, "Hey, we're going to be back. Come and see our booth," before you even get there, warming them up. That way they walk past everyone else's booth to get to yours because they have an intent when they hit the show floor. You know, that's what it was planned for, to use it for.
So who is this Craig you guys keep talking about?
Craig Deswalt. He runs
He's nobody, and you can tell me too what said that.
he runs a thing called Rockstar Mastermind, and
Okay.
Rockstar Marketing, and he's kind of changed it up a little bit recently. He changed it to Rock Your Life. But I've known Craig for probably over a decade, and he draws in a phenomenal group. He draws in a really good crowd, and they need a lot of help. So that's why I show up. That's why I'm there. That's why I'm part of the group, just to help people that need. And I'm looking at our faces here, and there's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, probably half the people here are out of his group. So
Okay, thanks.
But yeah, it was great group of people, that's for sure. All right, anything else here before we wrap up? All right, guys. Well, hey, enjoy the weather. It's awesome out here in California. I don't know about where you are, but I'm gonna go enjoy some sunshine. So, talk to you guys next week, and if there's anything between now and then, just holler at me and let me know.
Thanks. Bye, John. Thanks.
Well,
Okay. Bye-bye.